Do you know where the longest metro line in the world is? You got it right, Shanghai. With the opening of its latest two new metro lines earlier in 2022, Shanghai's metro network is an astonishing length of 831 kilometers. With the latest addition of the two new lines, the total of fully automatic lines to 5 with an operating length of 167 kilometers and staying number 1 in terms of length. Shanghai in total has a total of 20 metro lines, which consists of 508 stations, of which 83 are transferable. Quite amazing, right? The metro line is a maze of its own. Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. And today, let's see what Shanghai has in store for us. We will bring you valuable content from street shopping to the finest dining. Transportation. There are two major airports in Shanghai, the Shanghai Pudong Airport (PVG) and the Shanghai Hongqiao International Airport (SHA). If you are coming to Shanghai from a foreign location, there is a high chance that you will land at Shanghai Pudong International Airport (PVG). This airport is approximately 40 kilometers or 25 miles from downtown Shanghai. You can get a taxi from the airport to reach downtown Shanghai from the Shanghai Pudong Airport. You can find a taxi outside the arrival section of both terminals. It will take about 40 to 50 minutes and cost you about 20 to 30 USD. We suggest that you consider landing after 19 hours to beat the traffic. However, the quickest way of getting to downtown Shanghai from the Shanghai Pudong International Airport is via the maglev train, also known as the fastest train journey in the world. It takes 8 minutes to go from Shanghai Pudong International Airport to Longyang Road Station, and then you transfer to the Line 2 of the Shanghai Metro. This whole journey would be approximately 35 minutes. The maglev train is every 15 to 20 minutes daily from 7:02 a.m. to 11:42 p.m. One-way trip would cost you $8 and a round trip would cost you $13. Now, if you are flying to the Shanghai Hongqiao Airport (SHA), the most convenient method to reach downtown would be via taxi. The airport is approximately 12 kilometers or 8 miles from downtown Shanghai. You can locate a taxi outside the arrival section of both terminals. The cheaper method from Shanghai Hongqiao International Airport to downtown Shanghai would be by Line 2 and Line 10 of the Shanghai Metro, which are available at Terminal 2. It would take you roughly 20 minutes to get to downtown Shanghai from Shanghai Hongqiao International Airport and would cost you a mere $0.45 to $0.80. Once you are in Shanghai, Shanghai has a very extensive public transport system. This has made getting around the city fuss-free. The best and most recommended way would be the Shanghai Metro, with over 17 metro lines already active in the city. A one-way ticket would cost you anywhere between $0.45 to $1.4, depending on the total distance traveled. Apart from this, you could also opt for the one-day pass, which would cost you about $2.8 and are easily available at all metro stations. Do you know what is more extensive than the metro system in Shanghai? The bus system. They have several routes that operate even after the closing time of the metro. Each bus is air-conditioned and has a flat fee of $0.3. We suggest you carry the exact change ready to hand over to the bus conductor since most of them do not speak English. All the stops on the bus are announced in Mandarin, English, and Shanghainese over the public address system. Apart from this, you can also find taxi services in Shanghai, which are quite affordable and a fairly convenient way to get around the city. However, speaking with the cab drivers would be a little intimidating since most don't speak English. Tip: have the location or address of the place you are trying to reach written down in Chinese or displayed on your phone. If you opt to get a taxi service from a hotel, the staff will help you communicate your location to the driver. Weather: well, Shanghai faces quite a humid and subtropical climate. Shanghai is the busiest during the springs for tourism. This usually lasts from March through May. The weather is quite cool in March and April, with the highest being 17 degrees Celsius and the lowest temperature averaging 8 degrees Celsius. However, in May, the weather starts getting a little warmer, with highs of 26 degrees Celsius and lows at 17 degrees Celsius. If you are traveling in March and April, we suggest carrying a proper coat, but in April, you can walk around with a light jacket. The summer usually lasts from June until August, with the highest temperatures being 32 degrees Celsius. Shanghai also has its monsoon with its plum rain for a month and has a significant amount of rainfall. Traveling to Shanghai during the summers would bring you heat and humidity. We suggest you carry an extra set of clothes. Autumn is Shanghai's most beautiful and busiest season. It lasts from September to November. The temperature is comfortable, with the warmest high at 23 degrees Celsius and the lows averaging 16 degrees Celsius. We suggest that you pack a light jacket for these cool evenings. The winters in Shanghai usually last from December to February. It is usually a quiet time. Even though it does not make snow in Shanghai, the temperatures can get as low as 1 degree Celsius and sometimes go negative. Ultimately, we suggest that a visit from March to May and between September to November is the best time. Places to visit. Shanghai is China's largest city and has many sightseeing opportunities for tourists. Even though they have a population of 24 million and counting, the city that is always busy offers several quieter, historic places to visit along with the newer sites. The city also allows exploration by water with the help of the Chinese coast and inland waterways. We suggest you start by taking a stroll down the Bund. As its Anglo-Indian name better knows it, it is called Waitan. The Zhongshan Lu is a beautiful promenade that runs along the west bank of the Huangpujiang River. This is particularly very popular among tourists as this area has retained a European feel, and this was once the location of an international settlement. You can see this influence in many old English and French buildings that have now been converted into restaurants, boutiques, stores, offices, and galleries. Towards the north end of the Bund, you will find the Huangpu Park, which was first opened in 1886 and is the world's oldest public park. It also has a museum dedicated to the Bund's history. Moving on to the Yew Garden. This is towards the northeast side of the Old Town and was laid out in 1559. This is also known as the Garden of Happiness. This humongous green space covers an area of more than 20,000 square meters and has an outer and inner garden. The oldest section of the park is the outer garden, and changes were made later in the 18th century when the park's main hall, San Sui Tang, was added. The most popular building would be the Hall of Spring, where the Company of Little Swords aka Xiao Dao Hui had its headquarters between 1853 and 1855. The newer and a little smaller inner garden is also quite beautiful. It dates back to 1709. Moving on to the Jade Buddha Temple in the Anwan-lu district in Shanghai. The beautiful temple houses two Shakyamuni statues brought from Burma by monk Huijin. The present building was erected in 1928 to replace the original temple in 1882 and is further divided into 3 halls and 2 courtyards. Where would you learn best about Chinese culture? The Shanghai Museum is China's most important museum and was founded in 1952. Even though it is set in a modern building, a work of art, the unique square base and round top encompass traditional Chinese concepts based on our planet Earth. Going to the southwest part of Shanghai, located in a beautiful park, there is the splendid Longhua Temple, which holds the status of one of the oldest religious sites in China. It is built along with a 40-meter-tall wood and brick pagoda dating AD 242. This place of worship has been destroyed and rebuilt many times since then. The present structure dates back to the 10th century. Another must-visit place in Shanghai would be the 468 meters tall Oriental Pearl Radio and TV Tower, also known as Dongfang Mingzhuta. It is located on the east bank of the Huangpu River at Pudong Park. Apart from beautiful views of the city and the river, you can also see the Bund Promenade. Shopping. Right from street shopping to upscale malls, Shanghai has it all. Shanghai is a shopper's paradise in Jing'an, Jiangjing, Huangpu, and Shujiahui. Nanjing Road is a shopping mecca. The world-famous 6-mile road from Jing'an to Huangpu districts offers high-end shopping malls on the west side and a street of small specialty stores on the east. Nanjing Road is the principal shopping street of Shanghai. It was made during the second half of the 19th century and ran several miles west of Zhongshanlu. Along this pedestrian route, you will find every conceivable type of consumer goods, from street vendors selling Chinese souvenirs to expensive boutiques selling various traditional arts and crafts. You can find many shopping malls and department stores such as the Yibai and Jubail. Local lifestyle. Shanghai is one of the safest cities in China, where violent crime barely happens. The streets of Shanghai are also safe to stroll around at night. When it comes to the food and water of Shanghai, you could use the tap water to brush your teeth, but it is not safe for consumption unless it is boiled. Bottled water is available almost everywhere. The currency here is the Chinese yuan, also known as the renminbi. Even though religion is not widely practiced here, you can easily find Buddhist temples, Protestant and Catholic churches, and mosques in the city. Modern-day Shanghai houses a Western culture with a hint of the Weo culture. In regards to sustainability, since 2018, the local government has advanced in its environmental protection. Most hotels do not provide disposable toiletries, most vehicles are electric, and the use of plastic bags and containers has been banned. Here you have it, folks, an ultimate guide to Shanghai. Are you willing to travel to the city that houses a mixed culture of modern and traditional? You can let us know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more content like this.